proficiency in English. Let us start with the first snippet. Though we have got many a time, an important word, a row over misconduct. Youth Congress chief resigns in Kerala. There are two words over here. One is a row. You all know row has three meanings. One meaning in this context, row means a dispute. Good morning. Row means what? Dispute. Second meaning, a row means front row, back row. And third one, row means to move the boat with the help of oars. A row over misconduct. Conduct. Conduct, when you say conduct an event, means what? Organize an event. Excuse me. Conduct an event means what? Organize an event. And coming to conduct means behavior. When you leave the college, that time you apply for TC and CC, transfer certificate, conduct certificate, about your behavior. That also you have to recollect. But misconduct means misbehavior. Youth Congress chief resigns in Kerala. Coming to the second one, here you can see the pic of Imran Khan, once a very famous cricketer, captain of Pakistan team, all-rounder like our Kapil Dev, and he was the head of the country. But later, because of controversies, he was arrested. And regarding that, based on that backdrop, May 2023 violence, Pakistan Supreme Court grants bail to Imran Khan. Grants bail to. When you see the word, very good, study certificate, conduct certificate, Santosh Rathod, good. Coming to bail, you all know the legal term bail. He has got the bail. But there's one phrasal verb, bail out. Bail out means what? To help someone come out of hardships or problems. Imagine someone is in a lot of problems, financial problems. Someone gives a helping hand, takes him out of the financial hardships or problems. Then we say he has been bailed out by someone. An important phrasal verb, not a legal term, but it goes with everyday English. Bail out someone. Otherwise, nothing to learn. Coming to the third snippet, better relations. Good, better, best. Here, comparative form, better relations. Beijing stands with India, Chinese envoy. There's one important word. What is that? Envoy. You should think of words like ambassador, diplomat, envoy. All these words you have to. Exactly. Coming to what is this about? You all know in the past we had tensions with China, especially along the border LOC, face off many a time between Indian soldiers and Chinese soldiers. Now they're trying to make the relation better. Better relation, better ties also you can say. Beijing stands with India, means Beijing is with, China is with India. Who says that? Chinese envoy, ambassador, diplomat. All these words you have to recollect. Coming to the next one, parley. Parley means a discussion. We have got many a time. Is a two-tiered system, test system advisable? Usually when we talk about SSC CGL, we say tier 1, tier 2. And you have to recollect that also. It is about test system advisable. Is it advisable? We use this expression everyday English. Someone wants to do something, then we ask the question, is it advisable? Is it recommendable? Is it acceptable? Advisable means, is it worth doing it? And what is this about? Test cricket needs to be improved. Say experts. Expertise, skill, special skill, expert, one with special skill, and expert opinion. What do experts say? Do we need, or do we have to? Test cricket needs to be improved. Do we have to improve the test cricket? It is about that. It is for sports lovers. Coming to the next one, you can see Continental Challenge. You all know continents. Asia Cup Continental Challenge based on that. Salima to lead India in Asia Cup hockey. To lead, led. It is about sports again. It is about hockey. And you all know hockey is our national sport, but unfortunately not popular in our country. Cricket is very popular, the most popular one. Coming to the main headline of today's the Hindu front page, should Supreme Court sit idly as governors block bills CJI? Here we have an important word. What is that? Should, helping verb. It has two functions. One function, it is used to advise or suggest someone. Second, it is used to convey. It is used to express possibility, but the chances are less. Here, should Supreme Court sit idly? Idle, an important word. Sit idle means what? Not do anything, waste time. And there's one important idiomatic expression. Don't idle away your time. Don't idle away your time means what? Don't waste your time. And idle man's brain is devil's workshop. Have you heard of that any time? Ah, very good, Pravalika. Here I was about to say, you have to recollect, think of two words. Idle, idle. Idle, a negative word. Idle, at the time of festivals you buy, Lord Vignesh, idle. But you have to recollect ideal. Ideal means the best, most suitable, ideal job, ideal place, ideal couple. All the three words, idle, ideal, all are important. As governors block bills, who has questioned? Never heard of that. Okay. Usually we say someone is wasting his or her time. What do we say? Don't idle away your time. Means don't waste your time. Chief Justice of India. Coming to the other snippets, we have this side. SpaceX took oxygen leak in rocket lightly. You all know SpaceX, Musk's company, and it took oxygen oxygen leak in rocket lightly. Lightly means what here? Not seriously. When there's a leakage of oxygen, a particular rocket, definitely one has to take it seriously and do something on war footing, means very seriously, alert, immediate action. But here, who is this? Who has said that? The chairman of the ISRO, V. Narayanan. It is like accusing, allegation, not taking leak of oxygen leak seriously, in a way accusation. But you have to read the article to understand what exactly it means. And here we have PM flags lack of debates due to disruptions. Our students know all these words. What is the meaning of flag? As a noun, flag everyone knows, but here it has been used as a verb. As a verb, what does it mean? To mark something as important, some problem, or to be reviewed. Flags what? Lack of debates. In the Lok Sabha, in the Rajya Sabha, healthy debates are required in a democratic setup. And debates don't take place, there should be some reason. According to the Prime Minister, the reason behind the lack of debates is disruptions by the opposition. And we have got the word disruption many a time. What does it mean? Interruption. Because of disruptions in the parliament, no debates, which is not good for a democratic setup. CSDS receives a show cause notice for defaming Election Commission. Here we have two words, show cause notice, defaming. But you can easily make out show cause means justify, give the reason for doing something. Show cause. If you separate also, you can understand. Show the cause for something. Show the reason for something. Good morning, Vagdevi, a little late. Coming to defaming. Someone has reputation of international repute or good repute. From that you get reputation. And someone tries to tarnish that person's image or tarnish the reputation of someone, that person will definitely not accept. He will file a case, defamation case. It goes with that. Defaming which organization in this context? Election Commission. And it's an important one. Coming to the next one, Sudarshan Reddy files his papers for vice presidential election. files his papers. You all know file can be a noun. Blemish. Blemish means a spot, and generally it goes with clothes, blemish. It also goes with character. It goes with skin. Some people, the skin, if you look at the skin, face especially, no spots whatsoever. Then we say blemishless skin. And some people, character wise, they're very good. No flaws in the character. What do we say? Blemishless character. These combinations are very important. Very good. Who is that? Mukesh, I appreciate. Blemish. Sudarshan Reddy files his papers for vice presidential election. You all know. And this person, Sudarshan Reddy, represents opposition candidate, and vice presidential election. Election, you know what to recollect. We have got so many times. Coming to this beautiful pic, when you see their attire, you should be able to make out the location could be Kashmir, and you can see that also Dal Lake. Coming to celebrating sports, opening act, artists perform on Shikara during the opening ceremony of the first ever Khelo India Water Sports Festival at Dal Lake in Srinagar on Thursday. More than 800 athletes will participate in events like rowing, canoeing, and kayaking. Imran Nissa. An important current affairs bit, because here it talks about, you can see this is Dal Lake and all sports related, and this is known as Shikara, the boat, and they perform some dance. And what is this regarding? Opening ceremony of the first ever Khelo India Water Sports Festival. Definitely it could be a current affairs bit. First ever. India's what? First ever Khelo India Water Sports Festival. Coming to the next one, simplified two-rate GST structure gets GOM's nod, awaits council's approval. There are two words you have to focus on. One is nod, the other one awaits. Tell me, why are they important? Himalayan kingfisher mascot. Very good, Divya, I appreciate that. Coming to nod means move your head up and down or sideways, one meaning, literal meaning. But the president gave his nod or her nod, means what? Approval. What is the other meaning of nod? Approval. And very good, Pravalika, and that's wonderful. Await. Why is this important? Yes, Vishnu. Await for is not correct. Wait for someone is correct. You cannot say await for. That's a common error. That you should recollect. And coming to the other news items and snippets. Here we have US asked India to buy oil from Russia to stabilize energy market, Jay Shankar. External Affairs Minister Jay Shankar has given a statement. What is it about? It seems, earlier I did a few editorials. US doesn't want India to buy oil from Russia. Contrary to that, what the External Affairs Minister says, US asked India to buy oil from Russia. US itself asked India to buy oil from Russia. What is the reason behind? To stabilize energy market. Stabilize. Global markets, they should be stable. There should not be any turmoil. Turmoil means what? Disturbance, turbulence, turmoil. And to avoid that, the US recommended, the US wanted India to buy oil from Russia, according to the External Affairs Minister. And what is the next one here? Assam halts first time Aadhaar for adults. And we have a few words like halts, first time. Halt, I'm sure you all know. What does it? Tumultuous. Divya, good. I appreciate that. And Chandini, disturbance, turmoil. Coming to halt, stop. Halt means what? Stop. And here, some students ask, and they also wonder, before ordinal numbers, we should use the definite article the. The first, the second, the third. But do remember, pattern is important, context is important. Here we don't have to. Halts, the first time we cannot say based on the context. Halts for the first time would have been better. Halts, first time Aadhaar for adults. They want to stop it. That's all from the front page of today's the Hindu paper. Let us go to editorial analysis, the regular pattern, vocab and analysis. This is enrichment. And a few important words are there. Today's editorial, a word of caution, not easy to comprehend. It goes with the legal dimension of sleeps. Sleeps. What is the second letter? Legal. It goes with legal. It also goes with polity, Indian polity or Indian political system. Not easy to comprehend. One has to read twice or thrice. And so many words are there. Many important words, though some we have got many a time. Let us start with the first one, an important word. What is the first one here? Lawfare. You all know, many of you I'm sure know, warfare. Have you heard of this any time? Warfare. Using weapons to attack the enemy or opponent. Warfare. But what is the term over here? Legal dimension, you try to attack opponents. It is known as lawfare. Part of speech noun, meaning the use of legal systems and principles as a means to achieve a political or military objective. Legal action used strategically to delegitimize, harass, or constrain opponents. In a nutshell, what it means, lawfare means using legal means or legal aspects to attack opponents in a simple way. Word forms, non-countable noun, no plural, typically used, only lawfare. Word combinations, very important. Political lawfare, judicial lawfare, lawfare tactics, lawfare strategy. Word combinations are very important when it comes to close test and fillers. Synonyms, legal warfare, politicization of law, weaponization of law. That would be more appropriate. Weaponization of law. Antonyms, justice, fairness, impartiality. Second word, probity, very important. Why is this important? Generally, we use our logic, we try to generalize. And many students know probe. Probe means what? Investigate. And based on that word, excuse me, some people may think probity means related to investigation, but a different meaning altogether. Probity, part of speech noun, meaning the quality of having strong moral principles such as honesty, decency, integrity. Entirely different meaning. Please excuse me. Probe means what? Investigation. But here, probity, a different meaning altogether. Honesty, integrity. Word forms, non countable noun. Word combinations, financial probity means financial integrity. Political probity, moral probity, uphold probity, a reputation for probity. Someone has a reputation for probity. What does it mean? He is a man of values, man of ethics, above board, and he is full of virtues, vices, good qualities, and bad qualities. Very good, Chandini. Synonyms, integrity, uprightness, honesty, rectitude. These two words are very important. Virtues and vices we have got many a time. Antonyms, corruption, dishonesty, immorality, deceit. Deceit also an important word. Purportedly, this is also an important word, has been given many a time. Purported, adjective, purportedly, adverbial form. Adverb, meaning as appears or is stated to be true, though not necessarily so, allegedly. Something seems to be true, but not true, may not be true. And there's one important word we have got many a time, ostensible. It is there. Very good. Who is this? Aspirant. That is a word you have to recollect. Word forms, purported, purport, word combinations, purportedly genuine, supposedly genuine, purportedly true, beneficial, intent. In this context, purported intent, intention. Synonyms, allegedly, supposedly, reportedly, ostensibly, professedly, profess something. But best word here, ostensible. I see. Very good. I appreciate. Antonyms, genuinely, truly, actually, verifiably. What is the next word? Dispensable. I have given you guys many a time the word indispensable. What is the meaning of indispensable? Essential. You cannot do without that. Then we say it is indispensable. Opposite, dispensable means not essential. Part of speech, adjective, meaning not essential, capable of being done without. That means we can manage something without something. Then we say it is dispensable, not indispensable. Word forms indispensability, indispensably, and indispensable antonym. Word combinations dispensable resource means we can do without that resource. Dispensable staff. Some staff not that important. We try to remove them. Then what do we say? Dispensable staff. Some staff very important. Then what do you say? The staff, those people are indispensable. Liberty is seen as dispensable in this context. Synonyms, unnecessary, expendable, an important word, non-essential, superfluous. What is the other word for superfluous? Redundancy. Redundancy means unnecessary use of words. Antonyms, indispensable, essential, vital, crucial. That's all about editorial vocabulary, but we have more words. I told you today's editorial not easy to comprehend. You got to read twice or thrice, and 15 about 15 important words are there. Let us see how it starts. Lawfare politics means what? Using law to attack the opponents, and based on that, lawfare politics. On the bills for political probity, it is about the bills related to what? Political morality, political probity. But what is the main idea? Federal principles must not be undermined in the name of improving probity. There are three important words, and also must not be. We must not do something, something must not be done. It is in passive voice. Coming to the first word, federal. If you take many governments, we have three systems around the world, across the world. One center is powerful, we use the word unitary. States are powerful, we use the word federal. But India is a combination of some powers go with unitary center, some powers go with states. Then what is it called? There's an important word. What is it called? Quasi, not quasi, quasi federal. Quasi federal means partly unitary, partly federal. Based on that, federal principles must not be undermined. All our students know undermine means what? Weaken. Must not be. We must not undermine active voice. Something must not be undermined, passive voice. In the name of improving probity, in the name of improving moral standards, we should not compromise on principles of federal principles. We should not take the rights of the states. That's what it means. Some editorials, what happens, you need a bit of background information. Only then you can understand, you can comprehend. Otherwise, it may be a little difficult to understand what exactly the writer is trying to say. Let us see how it starts. Three bills, including one for a constitutional amendment, introduced hurriedly by the centre towards the end of the parliament session, are purportedly, ostensibly meant to improve probity and accountability for the prime minister, chief ministers, and ministers. A lengthy sentence. Whenever you come across a lengthy sentence, you got to read meticulously. Fathom means understand. But fathom also goes with depth, measuring depth, unit of depth, equivalent to 6 feet. 1 fathom equivalent to 6 feet. And what is the sentence about? It talks about 3 bills, including one related to constitutional amendment. And what are these bills about? How are they introduced? Introduced hurriedly, in a hurry manner, hastily. And there's one important saying I have given many a time, Who is this Chandani? Very good. Before I could say, haste makes waste, that you have to recollect. Hurriedly by the centre, when towards the end of the parliament session, are purportedly, they seem to be, ostensibly, meant to improve probity, moral standards, and accountability for the Prime Minister, Chief Ministers, and Ministers. It seems like that. It appears to be to improve the moral standards, but what it is in reality, what are the intentions behind, when you read, you understand. A word of caution: whatever I say based on the editorial. Nothing is personal, it is not subjective, completely objective. Do remember, it is a stand taken by the editorial. They will lose their position. Now, what exactly happens if these bills are introduced, they become law? What is the impact? What is the consequence? They will lose their position if any of them is detained by a law enforcement agency in connection with an offense that is punishable with imprisonment of 5 years or more. Imagine someone who is in power, means incumbent chief minister, detain. Detain is a verb form, detention is a noun form. Then the person will lose power, and the punishment could be imprisonment of 5 years or more. This talks about the impact of that law. What will happen? They will, here they means who? The Prime Minister, could be the Prime Minister, but chances are very bleak that it doesn't happen. Chief Ministers, and also who else? Ministers. They will lose their position if any of them is detained by a law enforcement agency in connection with an offense. Offense here means violating the law that is punishable with imprisonment of 5 years or more. Upon acquittal, once they are acquitted, the moment they are detained, they lose the power. But once they are acquitted, they can regain the power. But in between, just because they got arrested, it doesn't mean they are guilty. Till the time, they should not lose the power. But now things have changed. The moment they are detained, the moment they are arrested, they lose the power. Then what happens? It will go to the court, and the entire trial process, it may take a lot of time. Imagine they are convicted, it is justified. Imagine they are acquitted, they can get back the power. But before proving they are innocent, you cannot make them lose the power they have got because of the public vote. That is the point actually here. It talks about upon acquittal, they could return. Any objective observer. This is an important word. I always tell students, you should know two important terms. Mains point of view, they use these words. Subjective opinion, objective opinion. Subjective opinion means personal opinion. Objective means based on facts and figures. Here, any objective observer means one who looks at the facts and comes to a conclusion. Any objective observer would be skeptical. All our students know what is the meaning of skeptic. Skeptical. One who doubts something. One who doubts all the time, we say he is a skeptic. But one who has a negative attitude, always pessimistic, we use the word cynical. Skeptical is different, cynical is different. Skeptical, a neutral word, cynical, a negative word. Something is doubtful, we use the word dubious. Very good. Skeptical of the stated intent of these proposals means what? Anyone who sees the reality will doubt the intentions of the bills. That's what the editorial says. The concern expressed, because they doubt, why do we doubt something or someone? We have some concern. Something is wrong. And what are the concerns? The concern, again, you have to recollect, concerned person, wrong. Person concerned, correct. Yes, aspirant. Coming to the concern expressed by the opposition and legal minds. Two groups expressed opposition, concerns. One opposition, the other one legal minds, legal fraternity. Expressed by the opposition and legal minds that the proposals open a new avenue. What do these proposals do? They open a new avenue. Avenue has two meanings. In this context, avenue means a new way, a new path. But avenue also means, two, three meanings are there. Literal meaning of the word avenue, a street or a road with trees on either side. That is known as an avenue. Another meaning of avenue, opportunity. Very good. Who is that? Pavani, wonderful. That is the word I wanted to. Avenues, it opens up many avenues, means many opportunities. A new avenue for concentration of power with the center is legitimate. Concern expressed by the opposition and by the legal minds, the legal fraternity, editorial opines the concern is legitimate. What is the concern? The power may get vested with the center completely. For concentration of power with the center is legitimate. The claim that the proposed regime, you all know, one meaning current government, incumbent government, Park Avenue, famous street in New York, okay. Coming to regime, one meaning current or incumbent government, but it also means system. Legal regime, legal system. Tax regime, tax system. Military regime, ruled by military. Second meaning, proposed legal regime applies equally to the Prime Minister. Two is weak, considering the fact that all investigative agencies are under the administrative control of the center. First, some concern. The power may go to the center. Entire power may go to the center. First concern. Second one, in this framework, even the Prime Minister comes into the broad framework. And that is also weak. Editorial opines. Two is weak. Already we have a problem. More information. The word two has been used. Why including the Prime Minister? It is also something like a negative dimension, because the writer is justifying the claim that the proposed legal regime applies equally to the Prime Minister too is weak. Why? Justification. Considering the fact that all investigative agencies are under the administrative control of the center. You cannot expect the agencies which are being controlled by the center to arrest the Prime Minister. That's what the editorial says in the next sentence. No central agency will ever detain a Prime Minister. They cannot do it. Legally they can, but they may not do it, according to the editorial. No central agency will ever detain a Prime Minister, but they have already arrested several opposition chief ministers. Central agencies will not touch, according to the editorial, central agencies will not touch the Prime Minister, but they have already touched the chief ministers ruled by opposition parties, opposition chief ministers. When viewed against the backdrop of the pattern of the functioning of central agencies, such as the Enforcement Directorate and the Central Bureau of Investigation, the real intent of the new proposals by the center intent appears to be to empower itself with sweeping and arbitrary powers, which can be used against political rivals. A lengthy sentence, but what does it mean? When you look at the present scenario, or if you go back a little into the past, it shows that these central agencies, they can get the power, appears to be empower itself with sweeping and arbitrary powers. Center wants to have sweeping, means broad category, completely. Scope is more, then we say sweeping. And arbitrary powers, no justification, no rationality. You all know the word arbitrary, based on whims and fancies, based on whims. Center, all this is nothing but, according to the editorial, when viewed against the backdrop of the pattern of the functioning of central agencies, these two, the real intent of the new proposals by the center appears to be to empower itself. Means what? Center is trying to empower itself, get the complete power with sweeping and arbitrary powers, which can be used against political rivals. If center has all the powers, it is like they can use those powers against opposition leaders, and also when it comes to states and union territories. There the editorial opines that is against a federal spirit. The police are eager to arrest. It's an isolated statement, a very short sentence. The police are eager to arrest. I don't know what exactly the writer wanted to convey. Eager. You guys are eager to improve your English. Means what? Enthusiastic, interested. The increasing difficulty in obtaining bail due to harsh provisions in laws such as the Prevention of Money Laundering Act and Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, as well as judicial dependence, an important word, in granting bail is making liberty disturbingly dispensable. Liberty. What does it mean? Today, if you look at the present scenario, it is very difficult to get bail based on certain legal dimensions. What are they? Prevention of Money Laundering Act, Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, and also why is it difficult to get bail? Judicial dependence. There's one important word, zeal, Sangeeta, good, enthusiasm. Dependence means lack of confidence. Confident opposite dependent. Confidence opposite dependence. Judicial dependence means the courts are hesitating to grant bail. That's what you have to understand. Liberty. Liberty means what? Freedom. Disturbingly dispensable means slowly they're doing away with justice. Reading between the lines, you should understand. In a democratic setup, justice, liberty, freedom, individual rights, these are indispensable, means essential. But slowly they are trying to dispense of, means get rid of these dimensions according to the editorial. Corruption is dangerous for a society, but fighting it cannot be at the cost of principles of justice. Corruption is obviously disturbing, but you cannot fight corruption going against the principles of justice. That is not acceptable. Cannot be at the cost of, means you cannot ignore principles of justice and you cannot fight against corruption. Not acceptable. Corruption prosecutions have attained an unmistakable political character in recent years. Prosecution, legal term. Persecution, prejudice, bias. Prosecutor, prosecution, legally dealing with someone. Corruption prosecutions have attained present perfect active voice and unmistakable political character in recent years. What does it mean? Nowadays, cases that go with corruption, they have a political character according to the editorial. The pattern of an individual being a target of investigation when in the opposition, but no longer once he or she switches sides to the BJP is noticeable. According to the editorial, there is one pattern that is noticeable. What is that pattern? Imagine someone is in the opposition, then enforcement agencies may target that individual, he or she, but once that individual joins the BJP party, they don't target that individual. This is a pattern, and that pattern is noticeable according to the editorial. If the new proposals are enacted into law, if these proposals become law, what will be the impact? An elected official can be removed from office by mere police action and without a fair trial, not to mention a judicial conviction. Once this becomes a law, what is the impact? A person who has been elected by the public will lose the power. An elected official can be removed. We can remove active voice. We can remove someone active voice. Someone can be removed passive voice from office by mere police action and without a fair trial, and not to mention judicial conviction. Without conviction, they should not lose power. Without trial, they should not lose power. Just because police arrest the chief minister of a particular state, it doesn't mean he is guilty. It doesn't mean he is innocent. Either way, one has to go to the court, the trial process has to take place, and eventually the judge opines that person is guilty, should lose the power. That person is innocent, acquitted, should not lose. But before that, before all the process, the person loses the post, that is not acceptable. That is the point the editorial, the writer wants to convey. If the new proposals are enacted into law, an elected official can be removed from office by mere police action without a fair trial. Fair means just trial, you all know, not to mention a judicial conviction. considering the certainty that this will, in practice, what will happen in reality? Considering the certainty that this will, in practice, only apply to state or union territory governments. Writer says this may be applied only to state governments, union territory governments. It will also be a violation of federal principles. Main ideas being reiterated. If at all, in reality, they target the state governments, union territories, it is going to be something against the principles of federalism. It will also be a violation of federal principles. It is not a mere coincidence. There's one more dimension here. It talks about the powers of governors. Today, powers of governors also in the limelight, especially Tamil Nadu. There's a rift. The governor of Tamil Nadu and Tamil Nadu elected government, they are always at loggerheads. Means some problem or other. It is not a mere coincidence that the center is seeking to invest in state governors a veto power over any and all decisions of elected legislatures. Elected legislatures are the ultimate verdict given by the public. But if the governor has the power to veto means what? Absolute power to make it positive or make it negative, to make it real or to make it null and void, then the public elected legislature has no value as such over any and all decisions of elected legislatures. The existing laws provide for the removal from office of elected officials who are convicted in cases as defined in the new proposals. Based on the proposals, if someone is convicted, obviously the person has to lose. These proposals amount to holding someone guilty until proven innocent. But what is the drawback in these proposals? Before he proves his innocence, he is considered guilty, and based on that should lose the power. These proposals amount to holding someone guilty until proven innocent. If the person is not proven innocent, it doesn't mean he is guilty. But the law says that, new proposal says that. And also dishonoring the verdict of the people who elected them. Once they are arrested, before the trial, you put a label, the person is guilty. That is not acceptable. In a way, it is not honoring the verdict given by the public, dishonoring, honor, respect, not respecting the public verdict. It ends on that note. Try to answer the questions based on comprehension skill and listening skill. Try to answer the first one. What is the main concern expressed in the passage about the proposed bills introduced by the center? What are the key words? Concern. Bills proposed by the center. At least one student response, I will give the answer. They will bring stricter accountability to all elected officials. They are intended to genuinely combat corruption at the highest level. They risk concentrating excessive power in the hands of the center. Yes, very good. This is the answer. What is the answer? Based on these proposals, if at all they become law, entire power goes to the center. There's a possibility. Risk is there. Question number 2. What is the tone of the editorial? Editorial or writer criticizes, expresses concern, expresses doubt how it is going to be used. We cannot say optimistic, nothing optimistic here. Neutral, no need to write. Apathetic, no need to write. Alarmist, not exaggerated. So what is the answer here? The writer doubts how it is going to be used. Skeptical and critical, criticizes at the same time. Very good. B is the answer. Next one, according to the passage, why does the proposed law undermine the principle of justice? It weakens the principle of justice. Why? On what basis we can say that? Because corruption prosecutions will be handled more harshly? No. Because officials can be removed from office merely on police action without fair trial or judicial conviction. Without trial, without conviction, if you remove someone from office, it is against the principles of justice. So what is the answer based on that? Third one, very good. B is the answer. Coming to the next one. The passage or editorial suggests that recent corruption prosecutions in India have recent incidents related to corruption prosecutions. What is the reality? Impartial, effective deterrent against political corruption, assumed a political character, targeting opposition leaders disproportionately. Writer clearly mentions these prosecutions against corruption, they have taken a political character. Why political character? They touch the opposition people, opposition party leaders. Based on that, C is the answer. Which principle of governance is most threatened by the proposed bills as per the writer? Principles of federalism or governance. Separation of powers? No. Judicial independence? No. Parliamentary supremacy? No. Bureaucratic accountability? No. It's all about federalism. Federalism is being attacked, quasi federal. States also have powers, but the powers of the states and union territories are being taken away. Answer is C. That's all for today, but before I wind up the session, tomorrow and day after we have IBPS PO prelims exam, 23rd, 24th, and give me a few minutes, a few tips. Those who are going to take, I wish them all the best. First thing. Second, when you take the paper, do remember when it comes to objective type exams, multiple choice questions, your mindset is very important. You should be composed, poised, balanced, no agitation, no disturbance. And sometimes what happens, the paper may be easy, no issues, maybe moderate, no issues, maybe tough. Imagine you have spent 1 year and you seem the paper is very tough. You should not panic. Don't panic. Look at the questions carefully, give your best, because you should tell yourself with ample preparation, 1 year preparation, the paper is tough. You should tell yourself, this is called auto suggestion. If it is tough for me, it is tough for everyone. I will give my best and I don't panic. Without panicking, you answer the questions. Definitely you can get 5 plus or 10 plus. And very simple. When it comes to competitive exams, do remember you don't have to be the best. You should be better than others. Easy paper cutoff could be 15 plus. Moderate cutoff 10 plus. Tough paper cutoff 5 plus. Try to get that 5 plus, should not be a big deal once you're composed. But once you're agitated, once you panic, your 1 year hard work goes down the drain. You should never allow that to happen. While taking the exam, always remain positive, remain cool, and give your best. All the best, do well. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.